Join me as I dive in the world of Japan's wealthiest people and discover with you how much the top 1, 5, 10, and 20% are actually worth. And when I was researching this, again, I realized how different Japan is. We will obviously be talking about millionaires when we reach the top 5 and top 1%. And in Japan, there are only 2.8 million millionaires. They represent about 2.2% of the population. That sounds like a lot, but actually, if you compare to Australia, for example, you have 1.9 million millionaires, but they represent 7% of the total population. And in the US, we have 22 million, 6.5% of the population. Quite a difference and quite interesting, isn't it? And there are many more differences that we're gonna discover together. For example, the median income in Japan is about 3.9 million yen or $26,000 for individuals and 4 million yen or about $27,000 for households. That's the amount of money they actually earn. And if we look at the median net worth, it's about $103,000, which encompasses everything that they've accumulated in terms of value, in terms of assets that they own, like cash, investment, real estate, minus everything that they owe, their debt, their mortgage. It looks low because it's actually lower. If we take the US, for example, this median net worth is $192,000, almost double that of Japan. However, these figures only represent the middle range, and there are actual big differences above and below that level. Let me give you an example. If we are looking at the bottom 20% of the earners, so people who are making the lowest amount of money in Japan, they're only making 2 million yen a year, which is about $13,000. And that is half of the median. It's really, really low. And that's something that we have to keep in mind as we are going to start talking about people who are making a lot of money, starting with the top 20%. Japanese in this percentile earn over 6 million yen a year or about $40,000. Additionally, their net worth is between $198,000 to $329,000. And they represent about 7 million of the household, which is about 13% of the total. It seems low compared to the US or Australia maybe, but remember, the median income and the median net worth in Japan is actually significantly lower than in the rest of the developed countries. Now, let's continue to the top 10, which is even a smaller group. In the top 10, people are making about 8 million yen a year, which is about $53,000. If we're looking at their net worth, now it's between $329,000 to $659,000. And that is pretty substantial, regardless of where you're living in the world. At least that's my opinion. We're talking about lawyers, doctors, mid-level to high-level executives, entrepreneurs, and we're starting to see the first few millionaires. We're gonna see more millionaires as we get into the top 5 and the top 1%. And before we get there, if you learned anything so far, it would mean the world to us if you could give this video a like or just leave a comment down below and subscribe while we're here. That would help us a lot. The top 5%. People in this segment boast a net worth between $659,000 to $3.3 million with an annual income over 10 million yen, which is about $66,000. And we're talking about only 1.4 million households, and that's 2.5% of the total number of households in Japan. This is super exclusive. It's worth nothing, that this level of wealth and income is almost double what the top 20 was getting. So that's a significant increase and a massive achievement. So really people that know how to leverage their time, their skills, and are showing actually a lot of talent. Now, that's great to be in the top 5%. But what about the top 1%? The top 1% of Japanese have a staggering net worth of over $3.3 million. By comparison, in the US, the same group would have over $5.8 million of net worth and $4.7 million in Australia. So less than these countries, but still plenty of money. And the annual income would be over 15 million yen, which is over $100,000. They represent only 90,000 households in Japan, or 0.1% of the total. Super exclusive. And supposedly, they own 11% of the overall wealth of the country. They're obviously what you would call the HNWI, or high net worth individuals. Your lawyers, your top CEOs, your top business owners, the startup founders, the doctors, the top players, sports players, and other high profile, entertainers and individuals. This is where you're gonna find the richest people in the country. And the top 5 list, some people you might know. We start with Tadashi Yanai, who's the founder of Uniqlo, that you probably know about. You probably know as well Masayoshi Son, who's the founder of SoftBank. The other people may be less well known. We have Takemitsu Takizaki, who's the founder of Keyence, which is an electronics company. Nobutada Saji, who's the chairman of Suntory Holdings, one of the largest beverage company in Japan. And finally, we have the Sekiya family, the owners of Disco, another electronics company. And you might be surprised that Mikitani-san, the founder of Rakuten, is not there in the top 5, but he's ahead there anyways. That being said, a 9-to-5 job is a good way to get a stable income, but it's gonna be completely insufficient to get you into that type of wealth. Reaching the top 5 or the top 1% of wealth holder in any countries, including Japan, is not easy feat. It requires a combination of strategic decision, risk-taking, bit of luck, and a mindset geared toward achieving great things. It's not given to anybody. One of the goals is to make money while you sleep. You've heard that one before, right? This resonates a lot when we explore the top 5 and the top 1% of wealth holder in Japan. These individuals are not merely trading time for money, right? They focus on generating passive income and making investments that yield compounding returns over time. And while researching this video, I came across a few more hints about how the top 5% and the top 1% invest and are making money. Most of them don't rely on just 1 or 2 income streams. They actually rely to up to 7 income streams. And we're talking about dividends, earn income from paycheck, they still have a job, they're still getting some money, rental real estate, stock investment, royalty income from IP or an invention, capital gains from assets they're gonna sell, profit from a business, and interest from lending money. Pretty interesting, right? So imagine having the financial security and the resilience to withstand any economic storm that comes your way. That's exactly what's happening here. Let me explain. By diversifying your sources of income, like millionaires, you establish a very solid foundation that shields you from any economic downturn or any black swan event that come your way. So even if 1 source of income or 2 sources of income disappear, you still have another 5 to support you until things come around. Picture this. Your money is working while you're sleeping. Of course, you're not actually sleeping and doing nothing. It just means that you're working smarter with a focus on leveraging your time to your advantage. To embark on this wealth building journey, you need to invest in yourself. What it means is you need to acquire the skills and expand your knowledge on how to invest and make more money. However, it's crucial to remember one thing, that while learning to make money is super important, it's as important to know how to safeguard and shield your hard-earned money. In other words, be financially literate. Dedicate time to learning the habits of saving, investing, and even making a budget and sticking to it. These skills will empower you to make whatever financial decision and safeguard your unearned wealth. I hope that was useful on your wealth building journey. If you're interested in learning more about investment and money management, don't hesitate to check those videos next to share your thoughts down below with everybody. And if you haven't liked and subscribed already, please do so now. That would help us so much. Thank you again for watching, and until next time, goodbye.